Hello, people. Good afternoon, or good evening, or good morning, wherever you are watching from. Um, please excuse my cracked voice. I wanted to pay attention to what I want to say this evening. Before I get into what I want to say, I want to ask you to follow me on my Facebook, Oluchi Fred-Chukwuonu, on my Twitter account, Oluchi Fred-Chukwuonu, and on my YouTube. Please follow me and share my videos for others to watch as well. Okay, I discovered that as we grow older in marriage, the degree at which we disagree reduces, you know, and I keep wondering what happened. The same two persons that have been arguing, disagreeing, and all that earlier in the marriage is coming to a place of understanding. You see, conflict, it's something you cannot take away from a relationship. You see, when there is much conflict in your relationship, it shows that that relationship needs growth. Because you see, two individuals coming from different places, having different understanding, different personalities, different dreams, different, visions and things like that. There's bound to be what? Conflicts. You see, I guess you've heard that, what most times causes, disagreement, among the couples are usually small, nothing things. Imagine ranging from where are we going to have our dinner, or some people say paste, how to press the paste, just little things like that. Okay, we can also have conflicts, conflict in communication, sometimes about money, about, dominance, different things can bring conflict, and you can't totally remove it because we are two different people. But it's expected as you grow older in marriage, it's expected that you would have understood your partner. That's what lessens the conflict. It's not as if it will be totally eradicated, you know. But what I want to, highlight is that sometimes when there's conflict, people will say, it probably is not compatible, we can't work together because we're always having conflict. No, when there is conflict, it tells you that that relationship needs growth. It needs growth. And then a place of understanding is a place of believing that we stand together, not against each other. That this fight we have is not a fight against you or me, it's a fight for us. It's a fight for us. And that's why it's important you always go back to your storyline. I mean, you're back to the memory. What is the story of us in that relationship? There are times, I just remembered we're watching a movie. I was watching a movie with my husband, and, we saw how the lady, went to the hospital, got her pregnancy test, and then how they do it this day. Everything is just surprise, surprise, surprise. Everything is about ceremony, ceremony, and the way it was presented, it was so beautiful. And I asked my husband, I have to remind my husband, I said, the first time we went for test, I thought I was, having malaria. So both of us went together. I told my husband, I know you can't even sit down. So I can go and get that kind of, test and do the surprise from us. I said, even if I go alone, he will have to confirm the test by himself and all that. You see, understanding matters. When you understand that whatever you are fighting for is for the relationship and not against the person. Because most times when there are issues in the relationship, the negative emotion starts rising and then you start attacking one another. You see, it's no longer that issue that happened, but it's the resultant effect that happens after that conflict. So conflicts, conflicts are bound to happen. But how you handle it is not by fighting against each other, but fighting for your relationship, fighting for the memories you have, fighting for your story. There are things you remember, you say, wow, positive things. How did you meet? What are the stories around, the history of your relationship? Those are the things that should put you together. We don't come, disagree, and then we leave everything, and you are just everybody works out on their own. No, conflicts are meant to be resolved, and marriage is full of conflict. But as you grow in understanding, and that understanding, like I keep, emphasizing, is that understanding is not that your husband is against you. And to a husband, it's not that your wife is against you. For example, let me share, make this little illustration. Recently I made soup and I didn't put, enough salt. And I brought it for us to eat. And my husband said, there's no salt in this food. I said to him, you don't really need much salt. We're getting older. And you have BP. Doctor say what? Okay. Now, I when I noticed that he was really, you know he wanted that salt. We have to compromise. I said, okay, we are going to put a little. Now, conflict, a place of conflict is a place of what? Compromise. You won't say, it must end the way I say it. I said it. Another person said it must end the way I said it. There's nobody is shifting ground. No. Conflict is a place of compromise. Okay, I can't get this, but we can shift it this way. The other one said, maybe your husband would now say, I can't have it all. Let me shift a little bit. And there's a compromise. Both of you will be able to kind of shift the standard so that everybody will be accommodated. Remember, why we have a lot of conflict is that we are disagreeing based on our likes and dislikes. And another thing I've understood is that human beings, we change. We change. It's only God that cannot change. So the way I was, how many years? 20 years ago. It's not the same way I am right now. A lot of things have changed. And if my partner is not trying to also understand the new changes about me, there will always be conflict. Conflict speaks about growth. So it's not necessary that both of you are not compatible, but it shows that there's a place that relationship still needs growth, and that relationship still needs, understanding. All right. So don't fight against each other. Fight for your relationship. Fight for what you hold together. And it is a question of time. The conflict that you or your disagreement will be reduced to barest minimum. Right? Okay. I hope this impacts you. I hope it made sense to you. I pray that your marriage will succeed. I pray that you will not be among those that will, that will draw, what's the word I want to use now? You'll not be the one that will, allow conflicts to scatter what you have built for years. All right. Stay blessed. I am your sister, Fred-Chukwuonu. Remember to follow me in my social media handles. God bless you and see you some other time. Bye.